Welcome back, friends. Thanks for being here. Buckle up and subscribe because it's going to be fun. This is machine number 4, and I'm going to try something a little different. I'm going to do a preview and a little description at the beginning, then we're going to get to work and get it all fixed. This machine was pretty interesting to work on. Wasn't 100% sure what the problem was. We started out with a missing PLA and a missing VIC chip. And of course it can never be that easy as to just put the 2 chips in and call it good. If that were the situation, they wouldn't have sold them as a bundle for as good of a price as I got them. So I went ahead and did that. I put that in, turned it on. I got video signal, but nothing worked. So then I started checking some other stuff, removed the processor, swapped that out, removed the one ROM that was socketed and swapped that out, and nothing was fixing it. The 555 timer on here had a bodge wire on the back of it connecting the discharge to the out line on the second clock. I have no idea why that was there. I removed it. It didn't change anything. I swapped out the chips off camera. That didn't change anything, and the machine works now. So I have no idea why that bodge wire was there. If anybody knows, leave a comment down below. That would be pretty cool to find out. Without further ado, let's jump right into getting this baby repaired. Jumping right into this one, I'm not a rocket scientist, but it doesn't take much to see that it's missing a VIC-2 and a PLA. On this board, this is an early 82 board, assembly 326298. The PLA, the SID, and the 6502 are in a different spot than they are on some of the other boards that we've been working on. No big deal, all the parts are still the same. So I got out a VIC-2 chip. This is one of the leftover ones from before that we know already works. I have a known working PLA, so we'll put those 2 in and we will see what happens. Plug in power, plug in video, plug in a video chip, plug in PLA, and turn it on. Let the RAM test go through if it's going to go through a RAM test, and nothing. Wouldn't even bother setting up the camera for that one. One more time, nothing. Okay. Let's check the power ports around the board, see what's going on there. Alright. So, hook it up to the shield on the cartridge port and try each side of the LED. That's 5 volts there. That's 5 volts there. The voltage regulators are in a different spot. So let's see what this one is. 12 volts, that's good. 24 volts, that's good. Let's try this one here. 5 volts out. 13 volts in, that's good. Really can't get to the connections on this one down here very easily. 6.9, that's a little high. I can get to this side. 7. Okay. Let's try the user port. 4.85. Sorry, cassette port. User port, 5 volts. So we got power everywhere. That's not really an issue. Let's turn her off and do a little visual inspection. VIC warmed up a bit. I guess this will be a sensory. PLA and the SID are a little warm. Processor's not bad. ROMs are okay. CIA's okay. Nothing special about the RAM. Okay. Looking at the back side, see some gunk there. What is that? That's the power switch. But we've got power, so we know it's not the power switch. This is the serial port and the video port. They're a little gooey. Little bodge wire there. Nothing out of the ordinary on this side. Somebody wrote a 2 on there. I don't see anything. Let's try pulling out the unnecessary chips that are already socketed. That didn't work out very well at all. I have to fold all those pins back where they belong. Alright. Pull out the ROM there. The SID there. The PLA there. Can't really pull out the processor or the VIC. If I pull out the processor, I won't be able to do anything. If I pull out the VIC, you won't be able to see what it's doing, even if it was. Well, let's try it again. So I get a video signal, but I get nothing on the display. Okay, so nothing. Look at the capacitors. I don't see anything bulged on the capacitors. They're looking fine. I don't see any leakage. That's all good. Looking for anything else out of the ordinary. Any scorch marks? Any burn marks? Oh, that could be something. I don't know if you can see that very well or not. Try and get it out of the shadows. There you go. There's what looks like a little burn mark there. So let's get the desoldering station. Same thing. But station and iron are not one word. They're two words. Let's get that fired up. Get that resistor out. Put a new one in its place. Okay, I went ahead and grabbed a new resistor out of the box and installed it on the board, but let's check this one out real quick to see what it says. 3.24, 3.26, 3.21, 3.27, 3.24, 3.22, 3.24, 3.23, 3.27. So not terribly bad. So you would use this in your circuit board where you needed to put 9 regular resistors in place. Just a convenient package for it. So there's the new one all soldered in and ready to go. Kind of in the shadows there. There's the awesome solder work that I did. Let's get the other camera set up. Let's do power. Let's do video signal. Turn it on. We have video signal. And it's either happily testing RAM or it's horribly failing the test. Alright, let's try it with the cartridge out. And let's put the ROM back in. And let's put the PLA in. Let's try that. Still nothing. Alright, I'm going to try changing the processor because I have a spare processor. I don't know if it's any good or not. Let me dig that out. Okay, so the processor that's in there is a 29th week of 82 unit. That was in there very firmly. And I have a 23rd week of 83. Let's try that. Black screen, nothing. And this is a 22nd week of 84, so we just keep getting newer and newer on these parts. And again, I don't know if they're working or not, but they're already socketed, and it's an easy test to do. Do the easy stuff first. Still nothing. Okay. Haven't ruled anything out yet, but we'll keep on keeping on. Well, that didn't work. So the next thing I want to do is I want to check out that bodge wire and see why that was there. So the bodge wire runs between pin 9 and pin 13 on the 555 timer. It's actually a 556 if you care. The batteries are running low on my meter, so it's acting up. Alright, there we go. Hey, it works now. Okay, so between pin 9 and pin 13. Pin 9 is the out for clock 2, and pin 13 is the discharge. So you can see they're connected together. I don't think they should be. Let's check out another machine. This is machine number 3 from last time. Same 556 timer. Pin 9 and pin 13 are not connected together. So we're going to disconnect that and see what happens. Could be there for a reason, might not be. One way to find out. Easy enough to do. Let's get that plugged in. Set the other camera up, because we know magic's going to happen, right? Power supply on. Oh, no video chip. Let's put the video chip in first. VIC in, PLA in, power on, video on, camera set up. Fingers crossed. And nothing. Let's check the voltage on that. Voltage is pin 14, ground is pin 7. These wires are getting to be a pain in the butt. There we go. We got 4.87 volts, so that's fine. Keep on digging. Alright, so as part of my promise from last time, I think what we're going to do is put some sockets for the CIAs and the ROM chips and see where we are with those. Just start from a clean slate and work our way up, or from a clean slate and work our way down, whatever the case may be. So let's get after it. Alright, that's done. Time to put those sockets in. Clean up the thing I just threw on the floor. Done this so many times now, pin in the corners with putting a little bit of solder on the tip of the soldering iron. I think I actually like it better than taping the sockets down. Doesn't appear to be a pin there. Oh, nice. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's splayed out when I push the socket in. Alright, let's get that fixed. Get that bent back straight. Tell you what, I'm beginning to love that desoldering iron. Makes a whole lot of problems go away real quick. I have been cleaning out the desoldering iron more often in between runs because I'm battling with running it hot so that the solder stays molten all the way up the tube and not running it so hot that I cause damage to any components. And now I have to add a new check to my checkout, and that is to make sure that none of the pins are bent and the notch is lined up properly and it's seated flat on the board, and we're good to go. So what I try to do, and it's a matter of technique and yours may be different, is I try to grab the pin and push it to the side a little bit just to know that I've actually got it, and then hit it with the solder. And if I push it to the side a little bit, that allows the soldering iron to contact the through hole in the board and the pin and heat them both. The only drawback there might be to that is that when I let go, the pin is going to spring back to where it came from as the solder is cooling. So that might be a problem, it might not. So far, it's been fine. And if not, I've got a desoldering iron. Next. Looks good. These ones have the notch off to the side a little bit. Still has a notch, I guess that's all that matters. They're stylish. A little bit of solder stuck on the board there. And use that to our advantage. That one looks good. Let's go ahead and stick the other one in there while we are at it. Those look pretty good. Okay, we got all those sockets installed, and all of the chips that we desoldered and socketed are not necessary to run the dead test cartridge. So let's get power supply turned on, power plugged in, video plugged in, get the other camera set up. Let's see what we got. Yay! Oh, that display is horrible. These ceramic Vic chips are known to be pretty ugly. Oh, they're a little green. Alright, so that changes the color tint. If I turn it clockwise, you can see it get a little more green on screen. Let's see what this one does. Oh, that one gets it gone altogether. It's not the best screwdriver in the world. Let's get a better one. This one's too big. This one looks like it might work. It's got a very fine range of adjustment on it. Okay, that might be the best we can do for now. Okay, so everything is working now. So what we learned in the last video of just get those things out of the way for testing purposes worked out pretty well. So what we will do next is we will put these ROM chips back in, and that will tell us If it's one of these that's the problem, oh, these pins are all a mess. We may have a winner. So we pulled this one out, and that didn't help any. Let's try taking that one out. Okay, so it may be that one. 1227, 1226. Okay. All right. I think we might have found the culprit. Bad ROM chip. Let's stick the CIAs back in and see what we got. After we straighten the pins. Pin's got some extra solder on it. Let's just clean that up a bit. These CIAs were made 1 week apart from each other. And that's when they switched the packaging at the plant. Alright, we got both CIAs in, we've got 3 good ROMs in, we've got the processor in, and the PLA and the VIC. Let's go ahead and stick in the SID chip. I went ahead and checked this out in another machine off camera while I was doing something else just for the heck of it, so I know the SID's good. Alright. So there's a couple of options out there for fixing the messed up display. One of those options is switching the VIC chip for the later revision. And then there's also a Luma fix that you can do. Coming up with my favorite part. Alright, perfect. CIA clocks are in sync, none of the RAM looks bad, all of the other chips tested, and the sound sounds glorious. Okay, so what I was talking about is this is a 6567R56A, and this is a newer model. You can see the ceramic packaging versus this packaging. This is a 6567R8, and this was made in the 16th week of 83, and this was made in the 34th week of 83. Let's get those swapped out and take a look at the differences in the picture. Having the shield around the outside of it makes it fun to work with. Alright, got that in there. You can see right away that's a little bit clearer. Let's see if we can do anything with picture quality. Color's a little more vibrant. There's still a little bit of noise around the numbers. Alright, that is turned all the way clockwise and going. There's a little bit of bleed. That looks like that's about as good as it's going to get, but you can already see the quality is a little bit better. So we will play around with that and see what we can come up with in a later video. But for now, you've seen the differences between the two chips. Let's get the other chip back in here. Alright, that's good. Let's put a big X on that and get rid of it. And while we're here, let's mark all these as good, 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 good. And I like the fact that all the RAM's good, because I think that looks pretty neat with all the Mitsubishi RAM in there. Alright, pull the dead test out. One more boot. Yay! Good stuff. Alright, that wraps this one up. Another successful repair of a machine. There's some cosmetic issues that I have to take care of on the case. We'll do that in another video. This one's getting to be a bit long. If you like what you see, thumbs up. If you didn't like what you see, thumbs down. And let's try and mess with the Google algorithm as much as we can. Do all that comment and subscribe stuff. Ring that bell. I always enjoy seeing my subscriber count go up. Much appreciated. And we will see you in the next one. Thanks again.